Hey guys, Mark from Northeast Bass Fishing. How you doing? Well, I hope everybody's having a great Christmas holiday. And the next bait I'm going to talk to you guys about is, I tend to not want to talk about discontinued baits, but when it's a bait that I really like, and I know they're kind of out there somewhat, you can find some on eBay, and some of you old school bass fishermen probably have some of these somewhere in your fishing collection, but and I've talked about it many times, and I usually get a good response, so I think there's a lot of guys out there that like it. And if you can find them while you do some searches online, which I do see them every now and then on eBay and just on regular Google searches, it's the old Culprit Water Beetle, 4-inch beaver style bait, flipping and pitching bait that I love. It's one of my favorite ones. It always was when it came out. And I figured, why not add that to the next part of the beaver style baits we've been talking about? And my history with this bait is, when it came out, I loved it. And I can remember this was kind of during that, sweet beaver craze and beaver baits and that kind of a creature bait, flipping and pitching, that was so popular in those days. And this one came out and I loved it. And I can remember when I got him, I was going up to vacation in Vermont for a week, and I brought him with me and just caught fish all week, flipping and pitching the weeds and docks with these baits, and I've loved it ever since. So of course, when I ran out of what I had and went to buy more, they were essentially, I don't want to say out of stock, but they weren't making them anymore. It became a discontinued bait. So I scoured the internet and at the time, years ago, luckily I found a few sites that had a bunch, and I could stock up and get a bunch of colors. The good part of that was the fact it was discontinued. They were very cheap, so I did get a lot. But it's one of those baits where I wish they still made and would come out with new colors and stuff, even though I have a ton of different colors that I'll show you. But it's just, I don't know what it is about it. It's just a great beaver style bait. Always done well with it, and I still, when I'm gonna go flip and pitch soft plastics, this is usually the first one that I tie on. So let me just show you some of the colors. And I can't guarantee what you can find out there on the internet. Some of you may have these colors if you guys have this bait, but I'll just go through the color list. I actually have, I'll show you guys, I actually have a couple of my Plano boxes that I'll give you just a quick overview, and then I'll show you them from the packs. But there's one box, and I have there's a 4-inch size, and then there's a 3-inch size. And that's obviously just your white pearl color. And I'll do my best to remember some of these colors and show them to you quick before I go through the bags. It's like their peanut butter and jelly. That's a green pumpkin green. That's a black neon in the 3-inch, and then in the 4-inch, the bigger size. And then there's just some of their black and blue shadow ones, the black and chartreuse in the 3 and in the 4. I believe that's just the black and blue, or black shadow. I'll go through the bags. That I believe is the black blue. This I believe is the June bug blue. It's like June bug on one side and blue on the other. So lots of cool colors. That's just one of the boxes I have. Usually if I'm going to go out flipping and pitching, I'll just throw a few bags in the boat, or I'll just throw one of these boxes in. Usually it's this box. These are the colors I tend to use more, and these are all the 4-inch size, I believe. But I'll show them to you in the bag so you guys can see the colors. But lots of cool colors, and it's a great bait. I maybe there's part of me that hopes somebody from Culprit will see this video and go, "Wow, we should put those back into production." But yeah, you can hope, right? You can hope, right? But I'm stocked up pretty good, probably for the rest of my life. But I'll show you what I got. Let's see. Here is the white water beetle, and this is the old packaging. Culprit. That's what it looked like on the back. I'm really surprised they don't, because they don't really have a beaver style bait in their lineup anymore, I don't think. So I'm surprised they don't have it. But the white one here, this was always a great one. If I know the water is real murky, real dirty, maybe I'm fishing the river, it's rained a lot, but if that water is really stained, this white bait is just great. And they also have it. Some of these I have in the bags in the 3-inch. I have the 3-inch size too. I throw the 3-inch size pretty much as, I can use it as a jig trailer, but I haven't really much. I just use it on the Ned. It's a good Ned bait. If I want that beaver style bait on a Ned, it's a good option, like I told you with the other baits. But the white pearl, and it's surprising how good this works. Even when the water is clear, I'm just flipping grass. I don't know what it is with that white just going past. I guess it kind of looks like a bait fish to him or something, but don't sleep on just a white, you know, flipping bait. They will catch fish. Let's see. I'll just kind of go in the order that they're here. This is a color they just call black with chartreuse flake. And get the pack open, I'll show you. But if you got your black bait, you've got your chartreuse flake there on the one side. Very cool color. Good dirty watercolor as the dogs start barking, as figures when I make a video. Another cool color. I think I have that in the 3-inch here. Let's see if I do. I will show, and I do. I like this one on a Ned. Has a nice flash to it. Oops, if I don't drop it. You can just imagine that on a Ned, flipping around on rocks and stuff. Cool color. Black with the chartreuse flake. I really wish they still made these. I made that clear. Let's see. The green pumpkin candy was one of my favorites. Unfortunately, I got, figures the one that is my favorite color is the one I have the least amount of with all the packs I have. But you guys know I love that watermelon candy color. Actually, I'm sorry, this is green pumpkin candy, but that green pumpkin candy, watermelon candy with all the different flake in there. This was actually the one I took to Vermont with me and slammed them on it the first day, and I said, I only got one bag of these. I'm gonna hold off, but it didn't matter. That's a great color there. I wish I had that in the 3-inch. I don't think I do. Let's see. Here's some of the blue colors, the black and blues. Here's black and blue. I kind of showed you that in the box. Traditional black and blue color. Even though it's kind of more blue now. Kind of black is kind of turned almost to dark blue. See if there's one with a little more black on it. That one's a little more. That one's maybe a little darker. It's not a real dark black, but you can see it in there. Good color. They're definitely scent. I don't know what the scent they used in Culprit in those days, but these are slimy. Let's see, another blue shadow is that other one. It's kind of like that black with the blue flake, if I remember right. Got your black and blue bait, and it's got a lot of that flake in there. They call that blue shadow. So it's basically a blue bait, but there's some black in there and all that flake. Another cool one. Any of these were good. I would switch colors around and fish eat them all. This is another cool one, this June bug blue color. It's another color I think people might sleep on a little when they're flipping and pitching is blue baits. But this blue, it's got the blue on one side and the June bug on the other. It's kind of a neat look. I'll throw that every now and then to change things up. Another great one. Let's see, this is a black neon, another one of my favorite colors. I told you guys many times how much I like throwing that black neon tube from Venom. But here's just your black red flake, black neon, great color right there. I'll show you the 3-inch ones at the end. Let's go through the 4-inch ones first. This is just June bug, another great color. Got your beaver tails there. You got your 2 flappers and no appendages. So these come through the weeds very nicely. That's what I like about it too. Very compact bait. Goes through the weeds real well. Sometimes those, if you got too many appendages on there, it kind of gets stuck on the grass. All right, let's see what else. There's a lot of colors they had. This is the one they called Goby. I love when it says hot new lure on it. I wish. I wish. But their Goby color was it's like a watermelon with the gold flake. Very cool color. Did very well with this one. That's a good one, Goby. Another good color is this Big Texan. That's what they call that one. See that hot new lure sticker on there? It's so hot, why they stop making it? I don't know how to describe this. It's more to me a brownish bait, but with that gold flake in there. I always like this one. It's Big Texan. It's kind of like a brownish color, and then with that black and the gold flake in there. That's a good one. Another good color. They definitely had a lot of great colors. Oh, let's see. One of the ones I throw a lot nowadays, the green pumpkin with the blue. I throw this one a lot. Do very well on it. It's got a nice mesh of this one. Oh, this one's old. I think I can probably get rid of this one since I have so many. I threw it back in the pack. It's pretty much ripped apart. Yeah, this one's in really bad shape. And a deep six, that one. Oh, I threw it back in the pack. It's all beat up. But you've got your green pumpkin, and then that blue through there. And you can see how the kind of the blue and the green pumpkin kind of mesh together there a little bit. Put the blue on the legs. That's a good one. It's one of the ones I throw a lot nowadays when I'm flipping and pitching. This one they called chili pepper. Chili pepper. Like a dark watermelon with that red on there. So he's kind of cool looking. So, you know, if anyone from Culprit happens to be watching one of my videos, it would make me very happy if you brought the water beetle back to life. I'm sure I would get some, even though I have a ton. I'd love to see some of your new color ideas. Let's see. Another one that I throw a lot nowadays. This is a one they call green pumpkin red. And I don't really, when I look at it, I never really saw the red so much. I guess it has a tinge to it, but to me it was always like a green pumpkin pearl kind of color. But when you see the legs, sometimes they kind of have a reddish tinge to them, the way the light hits them. But this one I always do very well with. It's a good color. Now, if you want to go red, the classic red shad is really hard to beat. Hard to beat the black with the red shad color. Great color in a worm. It's a great, one of those traditional bass colors, red shad. Everybody throws. You always catch fish on. Oh, let's see. This one they called rusty green. Rusty green. And when I started like researching these online back in the day, I didn't even know they had so many colors. And then wherever I found them, I don't remember where, they just had a ton of different colors. Like, okay, guess there's more to these than I thought. But this rusty green color, it's hard for me to describe it. It's kind of like a clear body. It's got a lot of flake in it. It's a really cool color, like a watermelon. And I don't know what you call, I guess it's kind of a red. Now granted, these are older baits. They may fade a little, even though they're not in the sun. So if you had them on the boat all the time out in the sun, I can understand. But this to me is kind of like a reddish, you know, watermelon, and just those have that green flake and that black flake and that gold flake and the green flake. Lots of cool flake in there. It's a really neat color, this chili crawl. And last few here, show you. This is one they call Crawdad, which is a nice color. You'd think that would be my favorite one because of the name, but I like those other ones that are showing you better. Not that this is a bad color. It's got the gold on it. It's got that dark, I don't want to say a brown, but it's kind of like a dark, maybe it's like a kind of a black and gold, but it's a nice color. It's just other ones I've done better on over the years. Another one I like a lot is what they call water tiger. It's like a pumpkin color. I guess you'd call it a pumpkin color. It's light on the one side, more of a darker pumpkin on the other side. I do very well with this one. They call that water tiger. I don't know if Culprit still runs these colors. patterns with their other baits. I have to check on their site. But as I said, if you're going to find these, you're going to have to, you know, Google search them. And last but not least, I think I might have one other color in the box that I don't have in the bag, is their peanut butter and jelly color, which is nice. Their traditional peanut butter and jelly. Gonna have some purple in it, gonna have some green pumpkin in it. This one actually has a lot of purple in it. This one has a little less on the one side, but another good color. Another good color. Let's see what we got here in the, here's the peanut butter and jelly in the 3-inch. I'll show you quick here before we wrap this up. You can see how it's not quite as dark with the purple as the other one. And remember, these are older baits. Their color tends to blend into it themselves sometimes. You can see even the same bait in the same pack next to each other, how this one, the purple's a little more faded. There, it's a little darker. But it's almost kind of neat that both baits aren't exactly the same. But there's that, that blue shadow in the 3-inch. As I said, I use the 3-inch mostly. Pretty much as a Ned when I'm throwing it. This is a color that I didn't have in the bag, and I only have, I'll show them to you in the, this is what they called green pumpkin, which is to me like a watermelon on one side and green pumpkin on another. Real good color. I think I've got it in the box. I'll show you the big 4-inch size. Yeah. So it's like a watermelon on one side, green pumpkin on the other. Good color. I wish I had more bags of those. And like the watermelon candy, wish I had the bigger size in that in the 4-inch. Only got one bag of that. But that's it, guys. So there's that 3-inch size again. You guys can check it out. That's it. That is the Culprit Water Beetle. Unfortunately, a discontinued bait, but great beaver style bait. If you can find them online, you can probably get them for a decent price. Check them out. I think you'll like them. As I said, I don't always like to do, or really don't like to do, or I tend not to do, I guess I should say, videos on discontinued baits, even though, you know, it's fun to talk about them, and for you, you know, old school guys like me who have them probably go, oh yeah, I used to use that bait too. So it's kind of cool to talk about it. But that's it, guys. That's one of my favorite all-time beaver baits. Maybe my number one. If I was going to go out and flip and pitch weeds and grass today, I would have some of these in the boat for sure, because it just catches fish. I've always liked them. I've got a lot of them, as you can see. I mean, I've got a ton back there. I've got more of them up in there because when I was buying them, they were just so cheap. I think people, wherever I was getting them from, just wanted to get rid of them back in that time when it was a discontinued bait. Now it's hard to find. I would probably say I'm the biggest dealer of them right now. Or I have the most of them. But I don't know. I'm sure there's somebody who's got boxes of them somewhere in a warehouse somewhere. But that's it, guys. So that is the classic bait, the old school Culprit Water Beetle 4-inch beaver style bait. Water Beetle they call it, in the 4-inch size and the 3-inch size. As I've said, if anybody from Culprit sees this and you want to bring them back, I would love it. And I think a lot of fishermen would, because it's a great bait. But that's it. Any questions, let me know. I'd put links to this for you guys for this bait if there were. But if I see some place online when I do a little research that has some, I'll let you guys know. You can check them out, but do your own research on Google, see what you can find. Maybe there's some out there. If you come across them at a yard sale or something, or you know, some fishing flea market, they have them, grab them. It's a good bait. It's a good bait. That's it. So please like this video, guys. Please share it. If you're new to my channel, nice to meet you. I'm Mark from Northeast Bass Fishing. Please subscribe. And I'm not sure when I'm going to post this. Could be on Christmas Day. Could be the day after. So if I don't speak to you guys again, have a Merry Christmas, and I will see you soon on YouTube. Mark out.